Okay, it's 2005. I'm a 17-year-old sex worker who uses methamphetamine recreationally with no stable housing. And I'm pregnant. I knew I wanted to be child-free at a young age. My mother had me at 14. My father was violent and abusive, and both of them struggled with drug addiction and mental illness. My grandparents became my legal guardians when I was an infant. While I was incredibly fortunate to have my grandparents raise me, it was hard to hear them explain away my mother's absence. I began to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why don't my parents love me like all of my friends' parents love them? No child deserves to feel like they're unloved. Now, pregnant and scared, with no clue where to turn, I call my estranged mother for advice. She says, an abortion is only like $500, so turn a couple of tricks and get it taken care of, and then hangs up. I go to a women's center in Portland to get an abortion. They give me laughing gas to numb the physical pain, but it doesn't stop a hot tear from running down my cheek. A year later, and I'm pregnant again. I suppose unwanted pregnancies are an occupational hazard for sex workers, right? I return to the same center and am given laughing gas again, but this time it sends me into a nightmarish episode of sleep paralysis. Everything goes dark and I start screaming as the doctors and nurses try to subdue me. They don't care what's wrong with me, they just want me to shut up. I'm told to leave and that I'm not welcome back. I go to a different clinic, one with no laughing gas, that allows me to have the procedure fully lucid. The nurse gives me a 1-month supply of birth control pills and tells me to make an appointment with my primary care provider to get a prescription for more. I can't do that, though. I don't have a primary care provider. I don't have health insurance. I take the pills for the following month until I run out. And exactly 69 days after my second abortion, I'm in need of abortion number 3. After a positive home pregnancy test, I call the clinic. The front desk lady seems skeptical that I could be pregnant again so soon. I hope she's right. I go in for another test, and it confirms what I'd feared the first one had been correct about. This time, the nurse suggests I try a different type of birth control, the NuvaRing. She says she'll give me several months' supply that day and told me I could come back when I run out and get several more. Seems like a safer bet than the pills, so I agree. The NuvaRing is not ideal. For those of you who don't know, the NuvaRing is a clear silicone ring that releases hormones that prevent pregnancy. You insert it and leave it in your vagina for 3 weeks and then take it out to get your period. Then you start the cycle over with a new ring. The problem is that they get dislodged occasionally after sex or during sex. It once shot out after sex with a client, and we had to crawl around looking for this tiny clear plastic ring so that his wife would not find it. Yeah. Let's just say I wasn't going to become a NuvaRing evangelist anytime soon. But it did seem to be doing its job, at least for about 18 months or so, when I find myself pregnant for a 4th time. This time I end up in the waiting room at a different clinic. My procedure here is by far the worst one I've endured. I cry out in pain during the procedure, and the doctor actually pauses in the middle of what they're doing to tell me to be quiet. I bleed so severely for the 2 months following the abortion that I nearly faint on several occasions. I never return to that clinic. I briefly have medical insurance between 2006 and 2007 and try to take advantage of this by making an appointment to get my tubes tied. The doctor tries to talk me into an IUD instead. As she explains the side effects of the procedure, she mentions that it's occasionally been known to poke guys in the genitals during sex. No, that's not going to work for me. I don't want to have to warn my clients that my vagina has sharp metal objects somewhere deep inside of it. I settle on getting Depo-Provera shots every 3 months, but I'm not very good about showing up on time to get my next shot, which leads to pregnancy and abortion number 5. I'm 27, and I start seeing a guy I've had a crush on for years. We have a couple of fun months together, resulting in pregnancy number 6. He wants to keep it, I don't. I get the abortion. After that, I decide, with guidance from some of the clinic staff, to get the Nexplanon birth control implant. It's the best method of birth control I've used by far. It lasts for 5 years. I don't have to remember to take any pills, remove any stupid rings, or show up every few months. I love it. Before I know it, I'm 34 and in a relationship with another guy. Let's call him Nick. Actually, let's call him Dick. I come across an article about fertility online. The article promises me that there's a stark fertility decline once a woman reaches 35. Thank God, that's only another year for me, I think. I also think, shit, I hope you were right for your entire life about not wanting kids. Your window's almost closed. I begin to wonder if I might regret my choice not to have children and decide, maybe this guy's the one and maybe we should do it. Just so I don't miss out. I have my beloved implant removed, but shortly after that, Dick and I get into a huge fight that ends in him choking and threatening to kill me. I tell him to pack his things and leave the next morning. With my implant gone, it isn't long before I become pregnant for a 7th time. I'm running out of fingers. Right before Christmas of 2021 is when I get my 7th abortion. I wait for a supportive text from Dick, who, though we had broken up, knows about my appointment. It never comes. What I do receive is an email from a political action committee in Oregon. They're seeking electoral fellows for the fall of 2022, so I apply. I get the fellowship and start phone banking to support Tina Kotek, a Democratic candidate running for governor in Oregon and a champion for reproductive rights. My first few phone calls leave me with crippling anxiety, but I do it anyway. I have to. She's up against a staunchly anti-abortion opponent, so the stakes are high. I think of myself in Christmas of 2021, alone while I waited for a supportive text or phone call, and I vow to become that supportive call myself. As I gain more courage, thank you. As I gain more courage, I travel from city to city, knocking on doors and engaging with voters. And it works. Tina Kotek is elected as Oregon's next governor. This isn't just a hometown win for reproductive justice, but a personal one. It's proof that I can live my life child-free, and that's okay. I don't even have to like children, which I do not. and that's okay too. I don't owe the world any children, after all. Just as important, I know now that I can play a meaningful role in this fight for others to have the same freedoms that I had, without which the life I lead would never have been possible. Now I look at the battles, big and small, in the fight for reproductive justice, and I say, bring it on. Thank you.